The skies above the floating city of Zara shimmered in hues of molten gold and crimson as the twin suns of Kethera set behind jagged crystal spires. From the vantage of the lowest terraces, most beings could only admire the sight in silence. But for 17-year-old Elia, a human visiting this alien world for the first time, the beauty was overshadowed by an urgency he could not ignore. He had been wandering near the river of glass, a shimmering expanse that reflected the city's colors like a liquid mirror, when the screams first reached him. They were not human screams, but a guttural, resonant, raw, painful, yet melodic, like 1,000 bells crashing together. Elia froze, heart pounding, recognizing the sounds from tales whispered in the Kethran bazaars. The dragon Empress was in labor. Most humans would have fled. Elia didn't. He had come to this world on a diplomatic exchange program, but fate had other plans. As he ran toward the commotion, he saw her, Liaratha, the pregnant empress, trapped in the mid-air cradle of the crystal nest, her scales glinting like molten sapphire. A swarm of mechanical servitors, designed to assist with births of dragonkind, had malfunctioned. Sparks flew dangerously close, and Liaratha thrashed in pain, her wings folding in an unnatural twist. Elia's first thought was panic. He was a human, small, fragile, and utterly unprepared for the might of a dragon. But as he stared into her wide, luminous eyes, desperate, something stirred in him, a courage he hadn't known he possessed. He remembered the basic emergency protocols humans had been taught in their interstellar exchange briefings: remain calm, assess the situation, and act. But how do you apply that to a being the size of a building, thrashing in pain, and carrying the future of an entire dragon dynasty? He leaped forward, dodging a rogue servitor that sparked dangerously as it spun out of control. I can help," he shouted, his voice almost drowned by the Empress's roar. The dragon's gaze locked on him, her amber eyes narrowing. Elia raised his hands, showing he carried nothing. He did the only thing he could. He appealed to instinct. "Liaratha," he called, "listen to me. You have to stay still. I can get you out." There was a pause, just a flicker of hesitation, and it was enough. Elia raced to the control panel, a glowing console suspended mid-air by anti-gravity fields. He had seen humans operate holographic controls before, and with trembling fingers he tried to override the malfunctions. Sparks sizzled around him. Pain and fear reverberated through Liaratha's body, but he could hear her breathing slow, minutely. Hours seemed to stretch into seconds. Every button he pressed, every command he input, was a risk. One wrong move could kill them both. But Elia's determination refused to falter. Then the hatch securing the crystal nest began to descend slowly. Liaratha's cries softened into a pained whimper. Elia could see the baby, tiny, delicate, and glowing faintly with the light of its heritage through the transparent walls. "Almost there," he whispered to her, though she likely couldn't understand him. "Hold on." With a final sequence of inputs, the servitors halted, disengaging from the nest. Elia pushed with all his strength, human strength. Fragile yet defiant hand managed to manually override the last locking mechanism. The nest shifted, and with a roar that shook the terraces, Liaratha was free, held carefully in the nest's cradle. The moment was electric with tension. Elia sank to his knees, exhausted, sweat stinging his eyes. Liaratha's gaze softened, her massive head tilting down to him. In her eyes, Elia saw gratitude, but also something more, an understanding that transcended words. Then she spoke, her voice a resonant hum that vibrated through his bones. Human, you risked everything for me. Why? Elia's throat was dry, but he managed, because no one should suffer alone. You're carrying life, and you deserve help, no matter what species you are. The Dragon Empress's eyes glistened. For centuries, her people had looked down upon humans, dismissing them as weak, fragile, and inconsequential. Yet here was one, a mere boy, who had stared into danger and chosen courage over fear. Her lips trembled with emotion. A soft sound drew their attention. Loretha's child was ready to be born. Elia, with careful guidance from the Empress, assisted in the delivery. The hatch opened fully, and with a final, determined effort, the tiny dragon emerged, scales glimmering with the colors of dawn. Elia held the newborn, feeling the warmth and pulse of life against his hands. Loretha's tears fell, glistening like liquid fire. She wrapped her massive wings around her child, murmuring words Elia could not understand but felt deep in his heart. You see, Elia, she said, her voice quivering, even the smallest beings can carry the greatest courage. Your heart is stronger than any dragon I have known. The Emperor, arriving moments later with a retinue of guards, knelt before Elia in profound reverence. Boy, you have done what no warrior in my armies could. You have saved my wife, my child, and the honor of our dynasty. You have reminded us that courage is not measured in scale or strength, but in heart and soul. Elia, overwhelmed, could only nod. The Emperor placed a clawed hand on his shoulder. You will forever be honored in the histories of Thalzara, and when our child grows, they will know your name as the one who showed our people what humans are truly capable of. Tears streaked Loretha's face as she whispered, Thank you. Human, you have given my child the greatest gift, life. Elia had not sought glory. He had acted out of instinct, compassion, and an unshakable belief that even a human could make a difference. And yet, as he stood there amidst dragons of unimaginable power, he realized that courage had no species, no limits, and no bounds. That night, under the twin suns of Kethera, Elia looked out over the floating city. For the first time, he felt that humans were not just fragile, insignificant beings in the cosmic order. They were capable of extraordinary deeds, of love and bravery that could move even the mightiest of dragons to tears. And as the city glittered below, the Empress cradling her newborn and the Emperor bowing in eternal gratitude, Elia understood something profound. Sometimes, heroes are born not from prophecy, not from power, but from the simple choice to act when it matters most. And on that day, a human teenager had saved a dynasty. Asterisk.